Need to know. All right, we're starting factoring, okay, and I've been doing this for a long time, and this seems to be the best way to do it. There's going to be more steps to factoring. This is just today, okay? And so these are the two steps. If you want those in your notes, I would get them in your notes. Understand there's going to be 3 to 4, I think 3 or 4 more steps, okay? These steps should be followed every time you're asked to factor something. Now, the first step, I'm going to say this now, I usually don't add that first step until later. But then I got a big mess on my board where the first step is off to the side and it looks messy. So now I just added it now. Okay? We are going to do greatest common factor. But we better make sure we all know what we're talking about. So, the first question is, or the first step says, put the polynomial in descending order. What the heck is a polynomial? Polynomial, that's the question.
Poly means more than one. More than one. Nomial, number. More than one number.
That's pretty decent. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
All right. So polynomials can be broken down. They got 3 subtitles: monomial, binomial, trinomial. So let's just start with a monomial. What is a monomial?
One number.
One number. Okay, so give me examples of monomials.
1.
That's 1.
2. 3.
2, yeah, you can list out all numbers all day long. Anything else?
3, 4. Anything else? As in like 1.1?
Yeah, so any number, yeah, so we got them. I don't have time to listen to you do all the numbers, okay, so.
That's a long.
Yeah, they take some time. So anything else is just numbers. Monomials can only be a number, that's it.
Sure.
I mean, I'm asking.
About 1.1 would be.
Well, that's still a number though.
Yes. All real numbers.
All real numbers work for sure. Is that it? It can only be a number. If it's a monomial, it's just a number just sitting there. That's it. Nothing else?
Oh, could I have an exponent?
Could it have an exponent? Sure. 2 squared, sure, why not? That's just 4.
Could be.
Can it be a variable?
Sure.
Sure. So it could be x. All right. Could it be 2x?
Yeah. I don't know. That's 2.
Judging by the way this is going, yes.
What's the patterns going on? What do you mean?
2x is a monomial.
Well, would it be because technically it's 2 numbers?
Well, so the question is what is the definition of a monomial? Like we throw all these words at you, what do they mean? So sometimes we call monomials terms. Have you ever heard of the word term?
Yes.
Are all of those things terms?
Yes.
Okay. Give me another term.
11 fourths.
No, those are all numbers. Give me something a little more freaking sexy, man. I'm telling you.
X squared.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah. But don't be, hey, look, hey, I'm going to tell you, your parents aren't going to be watching this video. Give me something real, man. Give me, they won't, I'm not going to email them, God, did you see what your son is? A little freak dog around right? No, I don't care. But it's give me something really good. Kind of make me
Negative 240 x squared times.
That's barely better.
Times.
That's barely better. Give me some, give me something good.
Times x to the third power. Times pi.
Yeah, when we get to negative exponents, I'm not sure if this is it.
Yeah, just pi. Pi to the third
Pi, yeah, I mean, that's kind of good. But what about something like that?
Yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Right? Right, that looks pretty good. Right? Don't tell your mom about, don't show your mom this one. She doesn't right? She doesn't.
Oh, no. Pi x.
To the 11th?
Yeah, don't tell her about that. Don't tell her about that one.
This is too much.
Yeah. Right? That's a monomial.
That is one monomial.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Right? All right, what about, so how do you know when a term begins and when a term ends? How do you know? Why is that last one why is that just one term?
Because there's no sign, no equals.
No what? No addition or subtraction sign, right? Okay, so then if that's a monomial, what's a binomial?
So it has an
Pi x to the 11th power times y.
Well, don't start out like you can't handle something like that, right?
1 plus 1.
Right? You think you want the supermodel, but you wouldn't know what to do with the supermodel. So like, what are you even dreaming for anyway?
1
Right?
plus 1.
Right? Start off easy. What?
1 plus 1.
Well, that's really two.
1
So
plus 2.
that's still that's one. You
One
combine them.
1,426 plus.
But you just add these together, you get one.
five.
That's just one term though. You just add them together.
1x times 2y.
I thought we need a plus or a minus. What's happening?
1x plus 2y.
All right, that's okay. That's a decent one. X plus 2y. That's
That's like a 7.
that's a binomial. It's a binomial. Give me another.
New York 7 right there.
Give me another binomial.
That's a 2.
Give me another binomial.
A plus b plus.
Can it just be like something like that? Is that a binomial?
Yes. Because it has the subtraction.
Yeah, right. It has two terms.
So it has 2 terms.
Binomial. Okay.
I put for binomial legit English.
All right. What about a trinomial then?
It has
3 times.
It has 2 signs. Because that has 1 sign, so it has 3 terms. 2
X
signs, 3
plus
terms.
2y
So 3 terms.
minus 3.
There you
Is that okay?
Yep.
Trinomial, 3 terms. Is that okay?
That's a nice trinomial.
All right.
Obesity right there.
All right. So a polynomial just means any amount of terms just sitting there. All right. What about the other thing that was on here was descending order. What does that mean?
go.
Greatest.
Biggest to least.
Biggest to least what?
Largest to smallest.
Large.
Polynomial.
Term.
What? Descending.
DCF.
Descending. Right? What's descending order?
Now.
So give me an example of a polynomial. What's going down? What?
Value terms. GCF.
So is it the coefficient? What is it? What's going down?
The value.
The coefficient of the numbers.
So
I lose a binomial.
So.
that's in descending order, but the coefficients are not going down. What's going down?
The square to
Yeah.
x to nothing.
Okay, so the exponent makes it descending.
So
Okay. Now, it also matters in alphabetically. Okay. But for the most part, we're not going to worry too much about that. And remember, as of right now, we don't really have to put these in descending order. But that's something that you should keep in mind. So then the next thing that we're looking at is check for GCF. What the heck's GCF? Greatest common factor. Okay, so how does that work? What's greatest common factor? Like for instance, if I said 9 and 12, what's the greatest common factor there? 3. How does it work?
it's the largest number
The
that
lo-
can multiply into each
The
one.
largest number that can go into both. Okay, is that okay? All right, so then on the handout I gave you, be on side 5.3.
Okay.
And we're going to do some of these together.
5.3 or 5?
Make sure you're on 5.3.
Okay.
All right, so here is a polynomial. In fact, it's a binomial. Okay, and we need to figure out with these two terms what the greatest common factor is. So take one thing at a time. The biggest thing goes in 2 and 8 is 2. Is that the only thing that we can divide out of both of those?
Yes. 1.
Well, yeah, 1 is always true. But what about those t's? Those don't count? Like, you don't have to worry about those, or what?
T.
Yeah, so you can divide a t out of both of them, can't you?
So it'd be 2t.
So is that okay to say that the greatest common factor is 2t?
What about the exponent?
That would be okay.
Okay? So now, this, however, is just the greatest common factor. It is not factored. So thing to keep in mind is your answer to a factoring problem must be able to multiply back to give you the original, or you don't have the right answer. So there's no question that 2t is not the same as 2t squared plus 8t. So then we have to define or decide what is left over. So there's two ways to think about this. The first way would be 2t squared divided by 2t is what? T.
T.
Plus. The other thing to think about is what times 2t gives you 8t? 4. Now this is an easy thing to check. This is done now because if I distribute this back, 2t times t is 2t squared. 2t times 4 is 8t. We have the same thing. So yes, it is factored.
That's the answer?
So that would be the answer.
Oh.
Now things to make sure that you keep in mind. This polynomial has 2 terms. You better have 2 terms down here. Okay? Yeah, we'll find out. Everything's got to be easy for you guys, huh?
No, I'll just.
You still got laces on your shoes, man.
In the next 20 years, maybe not.
I mean, you technically
Here in
can't.
the next 20
You
years,
can't
I'll
get
be
shoes that
evolved
don't
enough
have
not to
laces.
have shoes.
Right.
Yeah, I'm basically barefoot at all.
The Velcro Skechers are always an option.
I shoveled my grandparents' driveway and
In Velcro sketches?
now, and you know what they gave me? They gave me $6 in my grandpa's old, like 30-year-old Skechers. I was like, thank you, Grandpa.
That's a lot of money back when they were,
Yeah.
and they were.
You trade those things in, you know what you get?
What?
The Medal of Honor.
All right.
He's the rare pair of tools of all time.
I'm going to send that to your grandpa, by the way. Down there. Think of your,
Wait, can that hear us?
it's recording.
You
All right. Number five. Biggest number. One y squared. 1y squared. That's the most that can come out of both of them. How many terms are we going to have inside?
2.
2, because we started with 2. What times y squared gives you y cubed? Y.
Why?
What times y squared gives you plus 9y squared?
Why? I'm at 9.
Plus 9. Distribute it back out, make sure it works. Blessing.
Nah, I don't need to do that. I know it.
You committed it. It's sin. You dare not check your word.
All right, should we do, listen, should we do 9 or 10?
10.
10. Because why not?
You will have plenty to factor. Don't worry, I won't do all of them. That'd be nice. The video will have the paper crinkling.
5.
Luckily, 5. Okay, it's 5, okay?
5.
Biggest number that comes out of 5 and 15. So hold on. One thing at a time, right? You're just going down the list.
I did it.
How many x's can we come out with?
2.
2, so x squared. You can only take out the most, that you can. You can't force it. What about the y's?
2. So y squared. So 5x2 y2.
Parentheses y plus 3x.
Okay, so just a y, right?
Plus 3x.
Is this okay?
Yeah.
Yep. Roger that, Cap.
All right. 15 or 16?
Not really.
Dang, man.
What is that?
It's a math problem.
I understand it. It's in my head. I got it now.
What is that? What's the answer? 15x to the greatest power of y equals negative x
said
plus
7.
2.
Which one are we doing?
7 goes in, yeah, 7
Are we-
times
which-
5 is 35.
Yeah, that's what I
7. It's 7.
All right. One thing at a time, right? We're looking just at 14, 21, and negative 35. 7. All right, how many A's can come out of all of them?
3.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
How many B's?
3.
How many C's?
3 of them.
Is this okay with everybody?
Yeah.
How many terms should be left on the inside? 3. Should be 3. Okay? Every time there should be the same amount of terms. All right? What times 7 gives you 14? 2. Do we need any more A's?
A.
Just one of them, yeah. Any more B's?
C squared.
No B's.
No, I mean, yeah. I was ahead of my time.
So what's it? So do we need any more B's?
No.
No. Okay. So how many more C's?
2.
All right. All right. On to the next term. What times 7 gives you 21? 3. Do we need any A's?
No
B's?
2 B's.
C's?
1 C.
Minus?
5. 1 A.
1 A.
And 1 B.
1 B.
Any C's?
No C's.
Is that okay? Again, you can always check by multiplying it back together, distributing. Is that okay? All right. Sounds like one more for me then. Anything from 17 to 30.
No, we're chilling.
No, I'm going to do one more. Pick one from 17 to 30.
17.
Seven-
No, 28.
30.
No,
28.
28.
28. Fine.
Excellent, thank you.
No, you nerd.
All right, so it says factor out a, listen, factor out a factor with a negative coefficient, so you better be factoring out negatives.
What's that mean?
Like a negative sign, we've only factored out positives so
So it'd be
far.
like a -5.
Negative whatever, right? So they're asking you to do that for sure, so you must have a negative here. So what's the biggest number that comes out of all these?
-1.
Negative 1. So you can put just a negative, or you can put a -1. Anything else?
P squared. No, just -1.
All right, so we better have how many terms left over?
3.
3, all right, well, so what is it?
P. Q.
P cubed.
Uh,
Plus 4P squared.
plus 4P squared.
Minus 11.
Okay, notice all the signs have changed.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is step 1, right? Eventually we're going to do a bunch more steps, but right now all you're doing is one step. Get the greatest common factor out, 1 to 30. All right?
There you go.
I can do that.